And for the 5th time in 2025, it's go! We are racing! Let's race at Suzuka! Super GT is off to a good start, perfectly easy into the first corner for Ren Sato's teammate Hiroki Otsu to run well in the ARTA Mugen. No problems at all in turn one. That's exactly what we wanted, a clean start. And already Daiki Sasaki is trying to put pressure on his teammate Mitsunori Takaboshi. Daiki Sasaki, who's waited a long time for his GT500 call-up with Nismo, don't forget, in the number 3 car, partnered with Atsushi Miyake. And now GT300 gets underway. So let's race the Suzuka in GT300. The back 5 already trying to take on Zach O'Sullivan into turn 1, but it's a perfect start for Takuta Iguchi in the R&D Subaru, as there are no issues through turn 1, certainly in the top end of GT300. Everybody knows that in a race this long, you've got to get through that first lap first. You can't win on the opening lap, but you can definitely lose.
Takaboshi seems like he's holding up Daiki Sasaki here. Look at the gap between Takaboshi and Hiroki Otsu out front, as Sugo Matsuda has Bertrand Baguette filling his mirrors there in the Impul Nissan. Usually Baguette's a fast starter. Looks like all the top 5, top 6 or so are the same order they started in GT300 meanwhile. But Takaboshi coming under huge pressure from Daiki Sasaki here, and Hiroki Otsu already has a reasonable bit of daylight, trying to look further back to see if there's any changes of position. I think Sasahara may have gained a position. Yes, that is the number 37 Tom's car up to P10 at the expense of the Kunimitsu Honda.
This is some very tough stuff as the drivers now find themselves in difficulty, and there is Matsuda losing ground out of the final turn. Hang on a minute, he's had an off. He's had an off somewhere.
He has, because he was running P4 ahead of Bertrand Baguette, and now he's side by side with Yuki Sakaguchi. He's going to be 15th by the time we get to turn 1 here. The real racing machine just up ahead. Shun Koide has got the positions. Matsuda trying to hang on, and does so in his 200th start. And here we go. There he is, way off the road. Wow,
my word.
And don't forget, 2 years ago, that's the exact corner where he had a monster crash in the number 23 car. And wow, how there wasn't an incident there approaching the chicane. Here we go. Oh, he was just well out of shape from early on, approaching the chicane, and obviously well out of control by the time. So he didn't go off exiting the chicane. He was already way off on his own. Was he given any help though? I wonder. I'd like to see a little bit further back. If we possibly can, because that's a very unusual mistake for a driver to make. Here we go. This might give us an indication.
And that was Sugio Matsuda in front of him again, almost doing exactly the same thing that he had done to go off in the first place. So he makes the move on the inside line. Matsuda shuts the door. Bang! Contact!
I don't think Matsuda gave quite enough room there.
No, that's Matsuda getting involved in 2 incidents in 5 laps.
You don't want to leave it too late. You don't want to get caught out, as we have a few takers now for 300 as the pit lane opens, the 56.
And down to the chicane, work your way through the right and the left, get a clean exit. Look at Mitsunori Takaboshi's restart. This is going to be glorious on the first green flag lap back as we go into lap 10, and it's going to be an absolute flyer. It's green, 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 green at Suzuka in round 5 of the Autoback Super GT Series, and the leaders are still trying to build tyre temperature back again as we fly through the first couple of corners, and Mitsunori Takaboshi is hoping that this time the Nismo's Bridgestones will beat a temperature faster than they were on the initial start, because now he can really afford to go after Otsu, as Charlie Fagg has a cheeky look on the inside of Shinsuke Kono to go for 4th position. The D-Station Aston driver punching well above that car's obscene weight. Now, he can argue, well, that was my racing line. That was a bit of a variable racing line, I think you'll find, as these men and women down in pit lane are. They really can help make or break a race, as the Ingin crew is trying to get round the outside of the Leon Mercedes on the exit, and that'll be a beautiful switcheroo. Nice move on the exit from Yuin Tsutsumi, who just in behind the Ferrari. But where are the leaders going to be in relation? Have the number 3 Nissan team jumped their sister car? Not quite, but they might be able to jump them. They're going to jump the Mugen Honda. They're going to jump the number 16. They'll go through turn 1. This is going to be about how aggressive can Ren Sato run through the first couple of corners to try and get back on terms with Atsushi Miyake. Nissan have absolutely hoodwinked ARTA. They both managed to drop both cars ahead of the former leaders, and now it's all about Ren Sato trying to fight his way past Miyake on cold tyres, side by side. Ren Sato tries, he can't get there yet, and now they're going to be boxed in behind the Ferrari. Great work from Miyake to hold off Ren Sato.
I mean, that was proper driving there on cold tyres. You could see how...
So now the Ferrari has found its feet. The Mach 5 has got up to temperature. Here comes the Ferrari round the far side. Will they get the move done? Kobayashi round the outside of the chicane. What an overtake. Absolutely astonishing. And oh my goodness, that delay has cost them a victory and maybe even a podium.
Well, I think the 60 was going to be ahead anyway, but I think they've definitely lost at least 1 or 2 more positions from that, as Roberto Meri says, thank you very much.
There is the Tom's Toyota overshooting. That's a big error.
There's something wrong with that car. And why he hasn't... there goes Igor Fraga.
There we go.
So
there's Igor Fraga's car.
Yeah, so Sebastian Kondo now at the wheel of that car. Should be going again anytime soon now.
Here we go.
On the apex, and I know this is a very high downforce machine that APR is very proud of, as we see side by side. Here's the ART machine of Tomoki Nojiri. I think that's the pass, isn't it? On the
it is indeed. He's going to defend the inside line like Billy O, but will he run out wide? Kobayashi nearly gets level.
And the RQ's Mercedes has pitted, so this is now for the lead on the road as well as in reality. Has been for a while. Kobayashi's going to have an overlap here. This is a great exit out of the hairpin, and he's got the inside line for Spoon Curve. Surely this is going to be the move, and it is.
On the outside, on the approach to Spoon Curve. Still trying to put the keeper Super of Toshikyoyu under pressure. Try the same move. Go for the dive bomb on the inside of the chicane. He's going to overshoot. This is his teammate in Super Formula, and now he's going to go hammer and tongs against Shotsubai. Fenestras commits on the grass, and he's through. Sasha Fenestras.
Until the second apex, the devastation comes off.
Gone off. Tomonobu Fuji goes off the road. He's got a puncture. The Aston Martin. That was the team that was going to take the lead in the GT300 Championship, and now they are almost certainly not going to score any points at all. The puncture comes as they go through the chicane, so they've missed the pit entry. That is the worst part of the racetrack, to get a puncture, as Tomonobu Fuji is going to park the Aston. Yeah, he has. Let's have a look at how he did it. We're on board with Fenestras then, in the traffic. A big squeeze from Akuze. He nearly goes off the road at one of the scariest moments, and Fenestras picks it up, says, beautiful.
That's a... Oh, no.
Ferrari.
Ferrari's gone. Now, was there contact? Was the car that... Was there contact with Orkusa? Was that the car that Orkusa hit?
Well, it's possible. Look at it.
It looked like a Ferrari to me.
Oh, well, that's disaster for Roberto Mehi and the team. Oh, full course yellow. 5 laps to go, full course yellow. Oh my word. Yori Kimura is going to be under when we go racing again. And we are going to go racing again. Yes. So the Subaru's going to outbox it.
Kimura got problems.
I think the Subaru managed to get ahead of the Mach 5 at the perfect moment. Yuri Kimura trying to get back on the power. And I don't think they've got the legs.
Jump up to GT500.
Toshikyoyu getting his move on Hiramine, because Hiramine was defending and he ran wide.
No. I've said this a few times this year, as we see Fenestras having another look. Hiramine just on the middle of the road.
He is going for it!
He left the car's width. That was odd positioning from Hiramine.
We can always rely on the 23 Nismo to cook up a storm when it's needed, as here's Ricky Okusa round the outside of the impole. Oh, lovely from Ricky Okusa.
Hiramine having the stint from hell here.
And at last, the Toyota streak is over here in Suzuka. It's Nismo and Nissan back on top. The 23 is victorious for Katsuma Tsuchiyo and Mitsunori Takaboshi after an absolute thriller.
That is exactly what Nissan needed, as the number 14 Rookie Racing Toyota comes through for a brilliant second place. Unbelievable job by Nirei Fukuzumi. And Kazuyoshima, as we see, the number 3 machine, Atsushi Miyake, brings it home for the final slot on the podium. So 2 Nismo machines on the podium. Honda has to be content with 4th. I mean, that is a disappointment for the Civic contingent, as we see now.
What an emotional victory this is going to be in only their 5th weekend as a unified outfit. Rikuto Kobayashi and Zach O'Sullivan will take victory in Super GT in the 300 category in Suzuka. Wham, bam, thank you and good night from Rikuto Kobayashi. What a performance from him and Zach O'Sullivan. What an amazing debut season they are having.
And a very strong second position as well for LM Corsa. It wasn't quite the win that looked like it might be on the cards, but that's a team that's been really struggling for years and years, and they switched to this new Lexus LC500. Subaru comes home for third position. Then